Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. We see silver prices starting to rise, but to what extent is the price going to go? How high is it going to go? This is a question I want to ask you guys because it is speculative. We don't have a crystal ball, we can't see the future, but we can look at the given facts, the stuff that's happening in the economy, in the society, from the political standpoint, and from the charts, and from other assets and investments, since they're all intertwined to some degree. But we can kind of get an idea, especially looking at some other things we're going to talk about in this video. So before we start, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new because I do post daily videos. Also, if you want a link to find precious metals from a respectable, trusted dealer, link will be in the description. So, right now we see silver above $17. It's up like 20 cents today, and we had a lot of things that were going against silver and really pushing for prices to go lower. This was stock markets over the last several weeks setting record-breaking highs. Also, U.S.-China trade negotiations were coming to a partial agreement, but like I said, those things would be short-lived. Stocks aren't going to be setting record-breaking highs forever. They're going to have some volatility again. U.S.-China trade negotiations is so wishy-washy that, of course, there was going to be more news coming sooner or later that things weren't going as planned, and this is exactly to a T what happened. Stocks started dropping. U.S.-China trade negotiations are saying that might be put off until after the 2020 presidential election. Trump might be trying to use this for his campaign and to try to win with that as well. So, with that given, also he's trying to put tariffs on, I think, 4 other countries now as well. So, this is a lot of news. I just said a lot of different things that could be affecting prices. Now, what this did was, 1, shoot the price of precious metals up, 2, get a lot of emotions running high, 3, putting people very not at ease. I mean, people like comfort. They want comfort. They want things to be going smoothly. We don't want war talk. They don't want anything that could be jeopardizing their freedom or their security, their safety. And when this happens, what do? They turn towards precious metals. This is why the prices are going to start rising. Also, not only that, stock markets becoming more volatile, dropping prices, people are chasing the dollar. So this means that there's going to be new money coming into the world of precious metals. But do you remember a couple weeks ago when I was talking about the demand for silver, how once this happens, it's going to be pushing the demand higher? Well, if this happens, and it already is starting to happen, we're going to come to a crossroads of a very good / potentially bad situation. What is this? Now, let's talk about it. This is the supply of silver, the production of silver on a global scale that is diminishing, but a demand of silver that's going to be rocketing, especially now with all this new money coming in. So we have a high demand and a low supply from a global scale, on a global scale, which means that we're going to be in a very, very, very tight situation where the producers will be becoming the consumers. The people that own the silver are going to be selling it to the people that need it. And who needs it? It's the industries, it's the big business, or the people that are willing to pay $20+ an ounce for silver, or maybe even higher. Even if silver got to $100 an ounce, there's going to be a market for it. I mean, look at 2011 when silver was $50. More people were buying it than ever during that time. You would think it would be the opposite. People would be selling at that point. If you could look at a graph and show, the history of silver's prices, you would think, oh yeah, in 2011, most people sold it then. No, most people were actually buying it then. And that's because media is talking about it. It's all over the news, YouTube videos, etc. So right now, I think that we need to still be paying very close attention to the media and what's happening in the society, because even with Saudi Arabia, with Iran, with the Hong Kong protests, all of these different things, they all connect to silver's price. So even if you don't like paying attention to all that stuff, it's, 1, important to be aware of no matter if you invest or not. It's just awareness is key and preparation is power. You know, the more you try to sweep it under the rug and just forget about it, the less prepared you are. And this stuff is definitely things. This is important stuff that people need to be acknowledging, need to be educated on, and to be aware of. I mean, it's this is a global thing now. This is on a global scale, which means it's much more serious, especially when people at power are using it in certain ways, especially to manipulate emotions. And the markets are becoming more speculative nowadays. I mean, look at what silver's price did just from single-handedly that when President Trump tweeted that out. And I've been mentioning this. I've been mentioning how gold and silver's prices could heavily be affected by a single tweet from President Trump, and that's exactly what happened. He tweeted out the 3 or 4 other countries that he's going to be putting tariffs on, and it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Precious metals are more speculative. Stock markets usually always are. So I wasn't really surprised with that, but to see the extent of what's happening is definitely interesting. Now, I have to say that, of course, both things together can influence prices because, yes, when silver hit that $19.58 mark a couple months ago, it was single-handedly from these two things, from the U.S.-China trade negotiations and from stock market volatility. So if it's going to happen, I mean, it already happened once. It's definitely not out of the realm of impossibility to happen again, because the same exact things are happening right now that happened to push silver to $20 a couple months ago. But things are more serious now than ever because we also have the silver shortage, which is definitely looming, the recession that's looming. We're closing out the year, the 2020 presidential elections looming, and also things with Saudi Arabia and Iran and Hong Kong as well. Now, this is an interesting thing to think about because the gold to silver ratio is still relatively high. So if prices are going to be rising, I'm curious at what rate silver is going to be performing compared to gold, and if the ratio is going to lower or rise. The ratio has been pretty stagnant. It's been pretty stagnant, but I do see it still dropping. I still see silver as the undervalued metal with the most potential. The dollar index has been stagnant, so we can't really compare it from that. We can't compare gold too much right now because they both are, all precious metals across the board are in the green, even platinum and palladium. So I am really curious, but I do want to pass the question on to you guys. Do you guys think that silver is going to be hitting $20 before it would hit $16, or what? And also why? Just like how I gave you kind of my opinion mixed in with the details, I would love to hear your perspective, because the more we share our insight, our knowledge, our awareness, our experience, our opinion, the better and more well-rounded and open-minded we become, especially when a video, is posted and we have several hundred people commenting, giving their insight. You can reply to each other, hopefully in a respectable manner, but we can all share our ideas and really where we think this is going to go, because there is a lot at play. This can heavily affect the way you stack, how you invest your money. So it's definitely stuff we need to talk about. Do you think silver is going to be $20 ending the year, or do you think it still has a little bit of room to go lower? I think that even if it does go lower, it would not be by much, because we've built some support, we've built stability around this price for so long, since even when stocks were setting record-breaking highs, gold and silver's prices were not affected to any extent. I mean, prices were still in the mid to high $17 level, so, or mid to high $16 level, even a little bit above $17 from yesterday. So that shows that precious metals have its support. It's above the support lines. All it has to do is break past the resistance levels, and we could be in a bullish trend where a rally could be set up. And if there is going to be a rally, trust me, it's going to be extremely high, because the support has been built there. If you know how to read charts, if you know the analytical standpoint of it, you could see that if there was to be a rally, it's going to be very bullish and very big, a very large rally, especially with all the given circumstances that I mentioned previously in this video. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe because I do post daily videos. We're gonna be hitting 24,000 subscribers soon, so I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support. If you missed my video I posted yesterday, or actually earlier today, go check that out. I read an article from Kitco that's kind of breaking down from a chart analytical standpoint of prices right now and also what's going on, stuff I mentioned in the video or earlier in this video as well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thanks. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.